Hello guys, welcome back to TAEKOOK Update, the channel where we talk about the hottest, most mysterious and most talked about moments involving the two names that never fail to shake the fandom, Kim Tae-young and Chun Jungkook. And this time, something about the atmosphere felt very different. Because while fans were already excited about the upcoming HOLIGAN project, a strange tension behind the scenes suddenly started becoming the real topic of conversation. And surprisingly, it wasn't just Taeyoung and Jungkook's unreal visuals that got people talking. It was also the people around them. More specifically, the manager and the makeup team. Why did they suddenly become the center of attention? What exactly happened on set? Why are so many fans saying Taeyoung and Jungkook look different than usual during filming? And is it true that the mood on set changed in just a matter of seconds? If you're curious, stay until the end. Because the more people talk about this, the more it feels like there was something unusual happening behind the cameras. Chapter 1. HOLIGAN was already making fans nervous from the beginning. Ever since the name HOLIGAN started circulating among fans, people immediately felt like this project was going to be something completely different. Even before any full teaser had officially dropped, the vibe already felt darker, sharper, more rebellious, and far more intense than what many fans were expecting. People instantly started asking questions. Was this going to be a dark cinematic concept? A dangerous and mysterious visual era? Or maybe something even bigger, a project designed to reveal a completely new side of Taeyoung and Jungkook? And honestly, whenever Taeyoung and Jungkook are placed inside the same intense concept, fans already know one thing for sure. Something unforgettable is probably about to happen. Because every time these two share a powerful visual concept, the result is rarely just good. It becomes explosive. Not only because their chemistry is impossible to ignore, but because they have this almost unbelievable ability to make even the smallest detail, a stare, a pause, a shoulder turn, a quiet moment, feel like it means something much bigger. And that is exactly where things started to get interesting. Because according to many fan discussions and behind-the-scenes observations, the overall production atmosphere around HOLIGAN already seemed unusually serious from the start. The styling looked more precise. The visual direction seemed more dramatic. The energy around the set looked more focused. And every little detail appeared to be handled with extra care. That usually means one thing: this was not a casual shoot. This was a project that likely required intensity, emotional control, and absolute precision. And when the pressure on a set gets that high, the first people who usually reveal it are not always the stars themselves. Sometimes it's the team around them. Fans started noticing something feels off behind the scenes. Everything began to heat up when small moments from around the filming environment started getting more attention from fans. At first, it didn't seem like a huge deal. Just tiny glimpses, short interactions, subtle expressions, little movements in the background. But as everyone knows, TAEKOOK fans notice everything. And once people started looking closer, the comments began to pile up very quickly. Fans started saying things like, "Why does the set feel so tense? Everyone around them looks unusually serious. There's definitely something in the atmosphere." And that is when things became much more interesting, because it wasn't just one person saying it. A lot of fans felt the same thing, that the people around Taeyoung and Jungkook looked like they were moving with a different kind of urgency, as if everyone was trying very hard not to disturb something important. That doesn't automatically mean something bad happened. But in fan spaces, mystery itself is enough to create chaos. And the more people looked, the more two specific groups kept becoming the center of attention: the manager, the makeup team. And once fans noticed them, they couldn't stop talking. Chapter 3. Why did the manager suddenly look so alert? Let's start with the first person who caught everyone's attention: the manager. Now, of course, managers are always important on big productions. They help keep schedules on track, protect the artist's space, manage timing, and make sure everything runs smoothly. But in the case of HOLIGAN, fans felt like the manager's presence looked more noticeable than usual. Several people pointed out that the manager seemed to be moving more quickly, staying closer and reacting faster during certain moments. And naturally, that raised questions. Was the filming schedule especially demanding that day? Was there pressure to complete difficult scenes? Or was everyone trying to preserve a certain emotional tone on set? Many fans started building theories almost immediately. One of the most talked about ideas was this. What if the energy between Taehyung and Jungkook was simply too intense? Even for the people around them? Yes, that is actually one of the biggest fan theories right now. Some fans believe the tension people noticed wasn't necessarily negative at all. Instead, they think it may have come from the fact that Taehyung and Jungkook were so deeply locked into the concept, so visually powerful and so emotionally focused, that the entire set had to adjust around them. And if that's true, then it would actually make perfect sense why the manager looked extra alert. Because when two major performers are fully in sync and fully immersed in a concept, every tiny detail suddenly matters more. A delayed cue, a mistimed movement, a styling issue, a wrong camera angle, a lost emotional beat. Any of those things could ruin a scene that might otherwise become iconic. So when fans noticed the manager appearing more serious, more attentive, and more physically present, many began wondering, was it because something was wrong? Or because everything was becoming too powerful to interrupt? And honestly, that second possibility is exactly what made fans lose their minds. Chapter 4, the makeup team suddenly became a huge topic too. Now let's talk about the second group that unexpectedly became a major topic, the makeup team. At first, this might sound small. After all, makeup artists are always present during a shoot. They handle touch-ups, maintain continuity, fix hair, refresh skin, and make sure the artists still match the visual concept between takes. That's normal. But according to many fans, the timing of certain moments involving the makeup team felt a little too specific. Some people noticed that after what seemed like particularly intense scenes, members of the makeup team would quickly move in with serious expressions. Others said those moments didn't look like simple touch-ups. Instead, they looked like something more delicate was happening, something careful, controlled, almost emotionally protective. And that is where the speculation exploded. Were they fixing makeup damaged by intense filming? Were they helping calm the atmosphere between takes? Or were they acting like emotional anchors, helping Taehyung and Jungkook stay inside the exact mood required for the HOLIGAN concept? A lot of fans who understand entertainment production pointed out something very important. Makeup teams are often much more emotionally involved than people realize. Because between takes, artists don't always fully step out of character. Sometimes they remain mentally inside the mood of the shoot. And in those moments, makeup artists are often among the very few people allowed to come physically close without breaking the performer's focus. That means they're often the first to notice if someone is mentally exhausted, over-focused, emotionally intense, or deeply immersed in the performance. And if HOLIGAN truly has the kind of dark and emotionally charged concept fans are expecting, then it makes perfect sense that the makeup team would appear more careful, more active, and more watchful than usual. But fans, of course, didn't stop there. Because one small detail made everything even more suspicious. Several people pointed out that whenever the makeup team approached Taehyung or Jungkook, their expressions often seemed to become even quieter, sharper, more distant, more serious, more inside the concept. And once fans noticed that, the theories became impossible to control. Chapter 5. Were Taehyung and Jungkook too deep inside the HOLIGAN concept? Now, we get to the heart of why fans are so obsessed with this entire situation.